Wedding industry is a $60 billion. You need that Vera Wang bridal collection. The average cost of a wedding in the US is $28,000. What if you spent $5,000 of that on premarital counseling? Abuse, infidelity, unwillingness to work on the relationship. The amount of people bouncing on relationships for some misdemeanor shit is mind-blowing. Energy matches energy. So if you're being loving, if you're being vulnerable, if you're being expressive and connected, people give that back. But the thing is, like in a relationship, we forget that. And then we blame. It's just all blame, blame, blame. He didn't do this, he hasn't done that, he hasn't done that. Well, who are you showing up as? Look, you cannot be critical and loving in the same moment. You can't be judgmental and grateful in the same moment. Someone's got to start. Just start. Instead of saying he never does this, just show up. Happiness isn't external. The studies are in on this. But we keep acting like, oh, we can find that somewhere. Somebody else will make us happy. Something else will. If I just buy one more thing, chasing the wrong thing. It's internal. People are spending time on detailing. They want to make sure the thing looks nice. And you haven't checked the oil in 3 years. Wondering why the car doesn't start. Spending a bunch of time decorating, doormats and signs, and like home is where our story begins. Home is a starting place of love, hope, and dreams. A house is made of brick and beams. A home is made of hopes and dreams. With you, I am home. You spend more time putting that shit up than working on your relationship. You want to be fit? You put the work in. You want to stop drinking? You put the work in. Work makes it work. Who are we surrounding ourselves with? You got friends all around you, and they're all yes friends. You don't have anybody that's willing to say to you, who are you being in your relationship? Like, who are you showing up as? He was this. He didn't do enough of that. He said he was going to do this, but then he did that. No I statements. What are you owning up to? Do the work of looking. Let's look at all the different areas that are involved in a relationship, especially when you have kids. Where am I not really making something work and then blaming for it? We're teaching our kids. It's fine to blame. Something's not working out, blame somebody. Everything's a trade-off. You sacrifice in life. Are you loving somebody even when you don't want to? People withhold love and they justify the withholding to make that seem like that's acceptable. Like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to show up. He's not. Another lesson you can teach your kids. Hey, if someone else isn't showing up, you don't show up. Show up even if you don't want to show up. Love even if you're not being loved. Isn't that the game? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that we're always successful at it, but isn't that the game? Isn't that the bar? Women are leaving men, 80% of the time? 90% if they got a college degree? You're telling me that's all abuse and an infidelity and someone not willing to work? Like, really? There's just times that are harder, situations that are harder, and things that you don't necessarily want to do. They don't necessarily make you happy. You just do them though, right? You're an adult. And then people bounce out. They leave the marriage. And then guess what? Second marriages. What's the divorce rate on that? Is 60%? Go find that happy.